So I'm not letting nobody sell you drugs without me saying it.
Whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain, ain't a lot of time got to play so packed. I didn't even have my heart hope. Lyrical theory about to lose hope. Locked got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Either ain't no quiet hope. Now I'm setting fire, the rhythm man blues, what is the time smoke? Rebel with no goal, trying to find direction. The world got me next. Pick up a bag, nigga, have it, that's a red turn from oppression. But like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, CG's plus a good break. To come from far away as a soldier, trying to find a good ship. Plus when you in hell, how did you excel? What's in the breath of life, I believe it's fairy tale. Listen well, tough what I tell. No corner can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Did you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword. With a style that they might record. The only thing equal is the curse for the wicked and the righteous reward. Have mercy on the men that don't see it. Separated from the tares. Now, on my prayers, it is so deep. A rebel take the world by word of mouth. You be ready to be the rebel that you heard about. And it ain't gonna stop till I heard the virgins in the house and I'm hanging verdicts out. Get ranked, you ain't heard a clout. Without a shadow of a doubt. These devils sitting fixed office. Look the bank, I'm about to show the pockets. Get off this. Can't sweet talks. Cannot stop it. Plus I know the feds watch us. Tell the people that they church full of witch doctors. Put us in prison and stop violence. Meanwhile, you be caked on the rebels in a rock pile. And leave for my men. And y'all will understand things that never truly made sense. That's why I'm crying that you still the root for a criminal. Knowing you ain't innocent, it's fucked up. From my blue shot, training for the weeks.
Like that, huh?
Hell yeah. My girl got it fucked. Just good.
You want it like that?
Touch a white bitch with no face like love. Fuck for you to go forever. Forever by your side. Be the first bitch. I'm on my flaws. This the reason I'm a God. God for the truth. I'm a long time. When I call.
Look, man, first time I met you back in Jerry Yamada, man, in 3807. I'm saying my little story with me. Open the store, he was dropping the truth on me and all that.
You got me doing the bird.
The
bat doing the bat. Oh, y'all seen that video? Let me see you do that video. Yeah. Made you get like that. Because they got it like, they got it the way, so I got it the way I got it. For the individual. Oh, man, everybody else, they got the full. I'm gonna do the open. I'm gonna get the open. Next one. Get some more. This is my second set. Okay. Yeah, I believe so.
We are immune to fear. We are immune to harm. You see what I'm saying? You can step into assassination.
Yeah, bad. Hey, shalom, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Barakathum. To the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Ilatah Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. To the sisters. And this is a California Isupk Lashawan Qadash class. The Lashawan Qadash stands for a holy tongue. This is a biblical tongue taught to the Native Americans, the so-called Negro, and the Hispanics. This is of the 12 tribes. The Lord gave us the holy tongue, the Lashawan Qadash. The holy means to be separate, and we are separate people from the entire nation. If you are not a part of the 12 tribes, I would not subscribe to this. But, you know, a lot of people like to copy and they want to be a part of it. Now you see the so-called Jewish man, he starts speaking his Yiddish, his Syrian. But what I do in this class, or the Isupk does in the class, is that we break down scriptures and we waking our people up, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, to know who they are, because we've been stripped from our tongue. They've beaten us, they raped us, and they took everything from us. And what the Isupk does is it gets the blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans back to their heritage. And that's why we do the Lashawan Qadash. We actually have different classes throughout the week, from Tuesday to Saturday. Our Tuesday to Friday classes start at 7 p.m. and they end at 9 p.m. The Sabbath class, it starts at 11:30 a.m. and it ends at 12:30 p.m. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to start with the alphabets. I'm going to go into the ancient, and then I'll go into the Assyrian, and I'll go from there and try to edify you as well. If you have any questions, if you do need a chart, go ahead and put that in the comment board. I can send it to you via Messenger. And if you want me to send it through YouTube, all you have to do is put your email in, and I'll try to get it back to you promptly. So when you follow along with these classes, you have it in front of you, and it makes it easier so you can go home and you can exercise off the chart. But for now, I'm going to have one of the brothers come up here, and they're going to, one of the troopers come up here, and he's going to write the ancient alphabets for you. We take this down. Salaki about my time as well. I was kind of running behind the class. Normally starts at 7 p.m. But Salaki on that.
Salaki, sir. Somebody also commented, Shalom.
Shalom. I'll go further into it. This is why the Lashawan is so heavy. We do have people and throughout the life. It's a good thing to learn your heritage, but it's another thing to learn it correctly. This is why the Lashawan Qadash from the Isupk is very important, so you don't start saying things. The Shalom term is what you would get from the so-called fake Jewish people. They say Shalom. And in actuality, how you would say it through the Lashawan Qadash is Shalom. And it's not Shalom either. It's Shalom. I can show you that Shalom is not actually a word in the Lashawan. It does not mean peace. Shalom means peace. And that's spelled S-H. Well, in the English term, it's spelled S-H-A-L-L-A-M. It's not L-O-M. It's not. So, as you start following along with the classes and you get edified the proper way, which the Isupk, we edify people the proper way. This school's been around since 1969. It's been holding it down. All the other so-called camps that come around, they've been taking little bits and pieces from the Isupk and trying to form their own school. But the Lord has one body. And the one body is this one West. This Isupk is the home of the truth. And there is nobody that can debate that. But we're going to go ahead and start with these alphabets. And we'll go from there. And then I know, right now, I'm going through the vocabulary. So if you have any names or anything that you want to know a name of, I'll try to go ahead and get that to you. All right, you want to go ahead and start? You do? All right, I'll get but like I said, we like to get back to our native tongue. We've been stripped by our oppressor. We've been taught English. We've been taught Spanish. These are languages from our oppressor. This is his language, and this is not our language. We have the Lashawan Qadash, which was given to us. That's why it's called the Holy Tongue. It's been given to us, the Lord's people. If you are of the 12 tribes, and you are the Lord's people, this is your tongue. Don't get it misconstrued, because a lot of people think, oh, I have a degree, I have these things. But if you don't have the true knowledge of who you are, those degrees mean nothing. You've just been colonized. And believe me, that's just being a good slave. Salakia from our frame of words. But it's time to get back to who we truly are. The young princes and the princesses. We're not the wops, the females. We're not them so-called thugs that they try to frame us as. We are a strong people, an upright people. And it's time that we take that knowledge and we go ahead and wake up the world. Because the Lord says, thy kingdom come, that will be done here on earth as it is in heaven. So the kingdom is going to be built here. We have to start building this kingdom. That's why the Isupk is so important, teaching our people who we truly are. We're going back into the law, statutes, and commandments and living the proper way so we can build this kingdom up, and it will be an upright people and rulership. It's not going to be like these heathens who rule today. and it's full of hatred, as you can see now, and what's going on in this world. So it's important that we get in these classes and get edified, and we get the proper knowledge of who we are, so we're not walking around blind and going off this mysticism that I gotta have these degrees, I gotta be living next to people that don't like me. It's time to get back with your people and love your people. In the Lashawan Qadash, it's a lot different than the English language because we write from right to left. In the English language, they write from left to right, as you can see. The sentence starts, the alphabet start, the way it goes, it starts from the right to left. If you are following along with the WADA, please like and share the class. We do want all our people to get the proper understanding, the proper knowledge of the way that we should be. I'm going to go ahead and sound this out for you. That's the WADA. This is Ah, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ha. And we have two similar sounds. There's a Ka and there's a Cha. This is a Cha. You can see with that C-H-A-A. That's a Cha. This is a Ha, Ta, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Za, Kwa, Ra, Sha, Tha. I'll go with the sounds again. If you are following along and you try to get this proper understanding, this is how it is written. This is the ancient right here. This is the alphabets of our ancestors: black man, Hispanic man, Native American man. This is how we wrote. Like I bring out every week, and just trying to tell people, look up the cobblestone. There's a cobblestone. I forgot where it's found in the United States, but it was with the Native American people, and they found what was on the stone was they were writing in the Lashawan. They were writing in the ancient. So believe me, when people try to do this mysticism, the black people are the only ones that were the lost tribe of Israel, or they might say, the Hispanics are the only ones that don't get misconstrued with this color thing. And that's a problem with it, and that's white supremacy in itself. When you think about it, we're all different shades of brown. We're not just, you got light, you got high yellow, you know what I mean? You got your darkety dark, you know what I mean? You got some caramel brown skin. We all different tones. Don't look at your skin, a brother's skin, and try to do it. You test the spirit. That's what you do. You test the spirit. It's not about what you looking at. You don't know what you're looking at. You know, because there's brothers like what's the brother that used to play for the Clippers? Blake Griffin. You look at Blake Griffin. He got blue hair. His son got blonde hair instead of blue eyes, but his father is a Judite. So you don't go into the skin tone and be like, because look at him, that's a lot of people, these people that have no wisdom. They think they're going too damn deep and don't even know. And there's some people dark as me that are straight damn Edomites. And you don't even know it. Straight Hamites.
That's right.
Go ahead.
I was going to agree with you back in the day when I used to be doing the Bible stuff, and we had the dude, I know some sons all came up together.
Right.
When I see their dad, finally, I was like, your dad's black. They're like, nah, he's Mexican, but he was dark. I never
right.
Dude, you look at him, he was black.
Right.
I was like, okay.
And that was that's heavy point that the brother was bringing out, because a lot of people, when we go off the skin tone, when you think, I've done the same thing. I seen a brother when we used to stay in LA. I thought he was a Mexican dude because he was with I thought he was a black brother, and he was with a whole bunch of we call them Pisces, but that's really like the people from Mexico. Like, I don't know, it's too deep for y'all if y'all understand. But the brother was with he was brown, he was real dark, and I thought I wasn't thinking. I'm thinking, he's a brother like me, and I mean we all brothers, but like I'm just telling you the story. There was a bunch of Hispanic brothers, and there was a dark-skinned brother. And I'm like, hey, what's up? Hey, they all start laughing. He starts speaking Spanish. He didn't know no English. So, you can't get that misconstrued. Don't go off that skin tone thing. I got brothers in here as light as white, but they're straight Judites. Are they straight Puerto Ricans? You don't know. You have to let this test the spirit. Don't go off of that. But anyway, like I said, for the people that are of the 12 tribes, this is your heritage. Blacks, Hispanics, the Native Americans. Don't get that misconstrued with the color thing. Let's get that right first. We go back into the sound. This is ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, za.
Y'all forgot the y'all.
Oh, you sure did. Yeah, you sure did. Oops. Hey, come on, you can go ahead and redo it. Hey, that was good for the brother, because I know our show said it and didn't hear it. I didn't see it. I'm pointing to something else. Salaki on that. But that's why the brotherhood is always important, because there's brothers here to correct each other now, and we build on correction to help each other. There's nothing wrong with that. You want to get things right, you might have another brother to help you correct. That's how it works. You know, everybody, we ain't perfect. I mean, as far as doing things like that, but we can be perfect in the Lord. Go ahead.
That's what the precept says, right? The Lord corrects those he loves, right?
Right, correct. The Lord corrects those who he loves. And that's why you got brothers that love you enough to say, hey, brother, this is what you're doing wrong here. Let's get this right. Don't be afraid of correction. A wise man seeks counsel. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go back into it. It's ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, za, kwa, ra, sha, ta. And that's how the sound, those are the sounds of the Lashawan Qadash. You know, there is no U's. So don't get that mixed when people say Yahshua. That's not his name. It's Jesus Christ's name is Yahweh Shah. So you see a lot of people say Yahshua and they just go off this. I believe it's internet teaching. But in fact, I have a Bible written in the Lashawan Qadash. So this is how you know where the truth comes from. A lot of people try to say, oh, the Bible was written from a white man and all that stuff. And in fact, we have Bibles of the 12 tribes, written in the Lashawan. So let's not go to say, oh, the white man would not write a Bible that condemns himself. You know what I mean? Because the Bible condemns him. So let's not get that black confusion going on where you think Egypt is your land and Egypt is the land of somebody else. And these people have been destroyed. I don't care what buildings they got, monuments. It ain't there no more. So out here. I'm going to go back to the sounds again, and then we're going to go ahead. I'm going to have another brother come up, and he's going to write out in the Assyrian. This is the ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, za, kwa, ra, sha, ta. And that's how the ancient is written. I'm going to go ahead and take this down. I'll give you just another couple seconds. I'll go ahead and take that down, and then we're going to go straight into the Assyrian. Like I said, if you do need a chart, you can put it in the comment board, and I can send you a chart. So you can follow along. You can do your own studies at home. And you want to stay on this, you want to stay sharp on this. So you want to do this when you have time. We have a little bit of time to do everything else. But get our heritage back, you should have a lifetime to do this. This is why I'm being the truth to the day I die. I'm going to be passing this on to my children and so forth. I hope their children pass that on until the kingdom come. If it doesn't come soon enough, this Lashawan is going to get nothing but stronger. I'm gonna have to call another trooper up here. I'm gonna call Lashawan up here. You wanna write out the Assyrians?
No, I'm sorry.
The Assyrian is more of the bastardized language of the Lashawan Qadash. You will see the so-called Jewish man. Ish is a suffix, like blackish. It's not quite it. So when they call themselves Jewish, they want to be Jews, but they are not Jews. The Jews are the so-called Negro, so-called Latino, Hispanic, and the Native American. They are not these people with these long sideburns and with these fake tassels on the side who claim to be the Lord's people. But in fact, in Revelation chapter 2, verse 9, he says that I know they call themselves Jews, but are not. I'm paraphrasing, but they are the synagogue of Satan. So that so-called Jewish man is the synagogue of Satan. He's nothing but a devil, a deceiver. So don't believe when you hear, oh, I'm a Jew. I've had a white guy tell me he was a Jew. But I said, and I told him Jesus Christ is black. Oh, where is that in the Bible? Oh, I said, oh, Revelation chapter 1, verse 13 through 15. So you telling me you're a Jew, you've been brought up on this, but you didn't know that it was in the Bible. You know, don't be don't be misled by these people. They breed white supremacy, and America is the breeding grounds for white supremacy. You see every week another brother's being killed, another Hispanic brother being killed. You see no other races being gunned down, but we are. But why is that? Because we are the children. We are the lost children of Israel, and just like they did in Egypt, is the same way they do in us now. You got a proud man that's over us, and the Lord's going to knock that down because the Lord is not for that. But we have to get right, get our laws, statutes, and commandments right. Get into the Isupk. Start coming to your brotherhood class. Come to the law class. Come to the scripture breakdown. Come to the Lashawan Qadash. Start learning how to carry on the traditions of the Sabbath. But start, because a lot of people, when they follow the internet, and they say, oh, you can't cook food on the Sabbath. So your kids got to starve. Oh, you can't go no. Yeah, you can, but you have to learn this once you get with the Isupk. You start learning how to be an upright Israelite, not just a confused Israelite, an upright Israelite. That's right. I digress on that. With the Assyrian, it's a little bit different because the Assyrian has a double character. As you can see with the brother's writing, this is a double character word. So for the same word as a double, it has a beginning and an ending. This first character is used in the beginning or the middle of a sentence. This is always used at the end of a word. I mean, in the beginning of a word, in the middle of a word, at the end of a word. But I'll show you that as we go through the vocabulary. I'm just giving you a little more heads up about the Assyrian. So it's a lot different than the ancient. So you can get proper understanding. What is that? Hey, could you read Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 9? I already quoted it. I'll give you a little more reference. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 9.
For then will I turn to the people a pure language.
A what?
A pure language.
A what?
A pure language.
The pure language that he was speaking about was the Lashawan Qadash. And that's what the Isupk is doing. The Lord is turning to his people a pure language. This is the language of our forefathers. This is the language of the Most High. This is what we will be speaking in the kingdom. This is our pure language. It's not like this, like I said, the English, the Spanish, all these so-called, these are languages that we've been conquered over. When you speak in the English, that just means your ancestors have been conquered. When you speak in the Spanish, that means your ancestors have been conquered. That's all that means. Can you go ahead and read that again?
Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 9. For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of the Most High.
That's right. That call upon the name of the Most High in the pure language. You want to be calling on Yahweh. You want to call Yahweh, Yahweh Shah. You don't want to be saying Yahshua or these so-called names. You want to be taught the pure language, and this is why this class is very important, so you can get back to your heritage. Okay, I'm going to the sounds. This is Ah, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Za, Kwa, Ra, Sha, Da. I'll go to the sounds again. If you guys need a chart, like I said, you go ahead and put it in the comment where I need the chart. I'll send you a chart via Messenger, or if you're on YouTube and you need a chart, put your email in there and I'll send you a chart so you can follow along. It might be a little bit easier to have a visual on the alphabets. And I have those charts in the ancient and in the Assyrian. I'm going to go back through the sounds again. This is Ah, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Za, Kwa, Ra, Sha, Da. And this is the Assyrian alphabet right here. And the Assyrian alphabet has double characters. It has a beginning and an ending character. And I'll show you as we go through the vocabulary how these double characters are used. And like I said, in the Lashawan Qadash, a holy tongue, we write from right to left. The English language, they write from left to right. So it's totally different. And this right here, the Lashawan Qadash, it resonates to the spirit of the Hebrew, of the 12 tribes. You can feel this more. When you hear brothers throwing up the prayer, they turn to the east and they say, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash, Ayah, Shemka. You can feel it. You know what I mean? It resonates to our spirits. So this is why it's very important for us to get back to our heritage, back to our language. And the Lashawan Qadash, the Holy Tongue, is the language of our people, of our ancestors, of the 12 tribes, the blacks, the Hispanics, the so-called Native Americans. You know, this is our language, this is our heritage.
That's right.
It's time to get it back. That's why the Isupk is so important, because we teach our people the history of where we come from, who we are as a people. So we will not be lost and confused and thinking, oh, I need to be like this nation of people. When in fact, these nation of people, the way they live condemns us. We can't eat pork. We can't eat shrimp. We can't eat crab, shrimp, or lobster. Those are things that not of our people. So it's important to get into these classes and get the proper understanding. If you need a scripture breakdown, we have brothers that'll work with you to give you. That's where the brotherhood comes in. A lot of these, you go into the Christian church, it's totally different than coming into this school. You see Sister Carol talking about Sister Mary, about her hat being too damn big. Or they just a lot of gossip. The pastors over here sleeping with everybody in the damn church, taking money, riding the Benz, and that's not what being a true follower of Christ is about. And that's why you get in the Isupk, you get the proper understanding, you get breakdowns, you start learning your language, you start learning who you are as a person, and you start to grow. You see the growth. You won't be out there getting high. You won't be out there gangbanging, selling drugs. You won't be out there prostituting. You won't be out there twerking. You won't be screaming, singing shit about Slacky, about wow.
Right,
You know?
That's right.
So this is why it's good for you to get in these classes and get the proper understanding.
That's
I'm going to go to the sound one more time, and then I'm going to go ahead and go straight to the vocabulary. And I can show you how these double characters are used. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, a, pa, za, qua, ra, sha, tha. And this is how it's written in the Assyrian. I'm going to go ahead and take that down, give you a couple seconds. If you are following along with the water and you write it out, please like and share the class with all our people to be woken up. We get proper understanding of who they are. And in these times, especially being in this captivity, being lost and not understanding what their heritage is about. And learning the Lashawan Qadash is a part of your heritage. Like I said, this resonates more to your spirit. You know, the language resonates to when you hear it, you can feel it. Not unlike the English language, this is something that's been beaten to us. You know, people, they were getting hurt. I mean, it was a fake movie like that, Roots. It was fake, but that in some sense, that's what they were doing. They were training us to take our heritage away from us and give us their heritage. Right. So I'm not too proud when people say, "Oh, I got a degree in this." I don't care about your degree.
That's right.
Can you tell me who you are as a person? Get your degree in your life. Get in the Isupk. Get up there. Get your proper understanding. Don't think because some oppressor gave you a degree that you're somebody. Half the time when we go to school for degrees, we don't end up even getting a damn job that we went for.
That's right.
We just want a damn job at the end of the day just to feed our children. Right. Understand we're in captivity. This is not our land. Like they said, the American dream is the black, the Hispanic, and the Native American's nightmare.
That's right.
And we can see it every day on the news as an example of the police killing us. We out here killing each other. We're dying from disease, all types of things. And we don't understand that if we start getting into our law, statutes, and commandments, how much better we can be living as a people. But I'm going to take this down, and I'm going to go ahead and go into the vocabulary. Last week, let me see. Wow, I got my itinerary. Last week, I think I ended on the word Hebrew. I'm going to start with the word help. The word help in the Lashawan Qadash is I-Zar. That's how you would pronounce help in the Lashawan Qadash. It is I-Zar. The next word is here. The word for here in the Lashawan Qadash is Ka'an. Ka'an is how you would say here. The next word is high / exalt. Exalted. High or / exalted. The word for high / exalted is Ram. I'm gonna have one of the brothers come up here and write out in the ancient and in the Assyrian these words. You know how to do this with me?
The Syrian?
No, I'm just asking.
Nah, I got it.
No, that's too much fun. No, I'm like these troopers getting it. I know you know it. I'll be watching your classes too. Yeah, but it's okay. What you want to do is you want to start studying. You want to start writing it down. It helps you. You do this weekly. I'm telling you, if you sleep on it for a couple weeks, I'll come back and be like, I gotta look at the chart again and start writing because it's something that you have to do repetitively. Just like they did in elementary when they had you writing out the alphabets and the teachers stayed doing it repetitively. So it's the same thing, except you're learning your heritage. You're learning something of your people.
Right. Last night I was lucky if I could too. Like, you know, and even when the Chinese come over here, they keep their letters, you know, their signs up, you know, their own language. You know, so when you go into their own neighborhoods, you know, the Korean or whatever, you know, they still have like we can't read it.
Right.
But they still keep their culture, you know, with them.
Right.
But we don't have none of that over here.
Right. What the brother brought out was heavy. You think about, like he said, about the Asians in their communities where they have, and you notice in every major city, the Asians have their own little Chinatowns, little Korea, whatever they have them, and everything is written in their language.
Right.
They kept their language, and this is why the white man respects them. The white man respects them because they know that these people are really not bought, and America needs it. And this is how we have to be. We cannot be bought. We should not be so proud to be an American, so a so-called American. A lot of people like to say that, and you find out that it is not even about that. It's just about white supremacy. It's being submissive. And these other cultures, they don't submit, and they still get the respect. So that brings that's heavy what he bring out, because we should not be submitting to these people. I'm not saying rebel. Understand, live under the laws. You have to live lawfully, but you don't have to live up to what they consider their standard. You can't. You shouldn't be afraid to speak your mind, and it makes it hard to stand when your brother's not going to stand with you. That's what the important part is. We have to stand together. You see, the Asians, they stick together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The so-called Jewish man, he sticks together. And that's our problem. We stay separated. Like I was saying earlier, we go by skin tones and stuff like that, and it separates us. And not even looking into the spirit. You have to go about the spirit. It's not about the skin tone. You will be amazed on how Israel looks. And you won't even know you're dealing with Israel. And you have to start loving your brothers. Get your mind right. But this is the word help. The word for help in the Lashawan is Izar. He wrote it out first. He wrote this is in the ancient. This is the I. See right here, that when you see that sign right there, that makes it singular. So when you see this over, it's the sound is singular. When you see this right here, it looks like a smile. I don't know why I keep calling it that. Bear with me on that. It puts the sounds together. It makes it plural. So you add these sounds together, the za and the ra. But actually, the on the end is silent. So it's Izar. That makes it plural. So you want to put these sounds together. When you see it like that, you see the connectors right here. This makes it sound singular. As you see how I've written out in the English, Izar. This is how it's written in the ancient. This is how it's written in the Assyrian. So when you see it like that, kind of separates the sound, and this is the same thing. This makes it this sound singular. So it's like Izar. You have the za and you have the ra. And when you have on the end, it makes this. It makes on the end. It makes it silent. So it's Izar. Okay. And the next, and this is that's how you write it in the ancient. In the Assyrian, this is the I. This is the Za. This is the Ra. If you don't have a chart, you need a chart. Go ahead and put it in the comment board. I can send it to you so you can follow along, a little prompter. Or if you have been writing along with us in the class, hey, the water of that, it makes it a lot easier, and you start to exercising your penmanship in writing the Lashawan Qadash. Because that's what you want to do. You want to be able to write it down and read it at the same time. This is the I, this is the Za, and this is the Ra, which makes Izar. The next word is here. The word for here is Ka'an. This is how you write. This you see, like I tell you, this is the same. When you see the Ka and then you see the An, you see that's right here. This makes the sound singular. This is the Ka. This is the Ah, and this is the Na. Ka'an. The next word, the same word, but this is written in, that's written in the ancient. This is the Assyrian. This is the Ka. This is the Ah. And like I said, there's a double character. And the Na is a double character. And when you see it on the end, this is the second one. If you have the chart in front of you, you can see this is the second character of the Na. And it goes on the end. If the Na was in the middle of the sentence, it would be the first character of the Na. But since it's on the end, this is the second character. This is when it is used. And this is Ka, the Ah, and the Na, which makes